Hi everyone, month's by again, another month gone. Amazing how quick it does go. We say it all the time, but it does really go quick. Especially when you're doing something like this, it seems to go by even quicker. But anyway, look, it's another monthly draw, something I look forward to, and I know many out there enjoy the monthly draw. I'm always crossing my fingers that it basically have a nice, smooth, no mistakes, as we always try not to get mistakes. But anyway, now, first thing I'm going to do is obviously thank you all. Thank everybody who supports the channel. I mean, over the months and it's over a year now since I started doing the draws, so there seem to be a lot of people enjoy obviously what they get. I mean, I've given out, I don't know how many boxes now, quite a few boxes. I should maybe tally it up. Many flies I've gave away, and it all supports the channel, it really does. It makes everything much easier to do, and much like I recently bought a new GoPro because the old one was by its best, and batteries kept going flat, and plus the quality is always getting better, and you've got to keep in front of technology. And I actually bought, wherever I sat it, so I could do the outside footage more than anything, is I bought the GoPro 10. So I haven't tried it yet. Main reason for that is I've got a pinched nerve in my neck, so I'm struggling a wee bit at the moment for even tying. I'm struggling to tie a fly, jeez. In all the years I've tied, I can always do tying, but the old pinched nerve is a sore thing. I don't know if you've ever had it, and you'll understand what it's like. It runs down your arm, and it's not so good. Even shaving is a bit of a struggle at times. I've got a few misses, a few cuts. It's just the pinch there. But anyway, hopefully it's getting there, it's getting by. It's been a good month since it started. So hopefully it's starting to ease off a bit. The old chiropractor type guys twisting your neck and clinking, clunking. You try that. It's the first time I've ever done it, and it was pretty amazing. It does help. It relieves it. It comes back. It's like a bouncing ball that just gets lower all the time after the first bounce. So anyway, we're getting there. We're just old age, I think. But one thing I want to start with, obviously the draw is the main thing, the reason why we're here. But I want to talk about hopefully the videos I'm going to be filming, and especially the ones outside. Because one of the main things, both when you're tying flies, when I tie a fly, especially film for YouTube, I'm using materials that you can still buy, or you can at least source, because it's hardly worth tying a fly that basically with the materials that nobody can buy. So you've got to try and make sure at least 90% of what you're using can be bought. Much like the issues I have with my fishing is some of my rods are like antiques, I think, in comparison to some of the things that you can buy now. So what I did was I went out and I looked around. Now I'm lucky enough that over the years I've met many gentlemen, many ladies that are professionals at the casting and all the rest of it, and fishing obviously. And there's two gentlemen. Ian Gordon is a salmon fisher, and Stevie Munn. Now they're working with a company called Cadence. Now I looked at both of the rods that they're putting together, and they're basically on the same song sheet as I am, and the type of rod that I like, and style and action, which is another thing. Many people sometimes forget the action of the rod. Now the type of rivers I'm fishing, there's certain rods I prefer. I like a more progressive or a middle to tip action rather than a tip, mainly because the more action you have, the more it helps, especially if you're tucked under trees. It gives you a better presentation sometimes, especially in a short cast, and if you're fishing with small fish, you want the rod to give to the fish, not fly by you and like a flying fish, because the rods are too heavy, they're too stiff. So you know what I'm saying. Now Ian, I spoke to Ian, and we basically organised a couple of rods for me to try, and fish with. And the 9-foot 5-weight was like a kind of all-round type wee rod for like you can fish small fisheries, you can fish dry fly, you can fish wets, nymphs and so on. And it's a good wee rod, it's a good wee rod to start with especially as well. Now I've got the 4-weight here though. I will be getting the 5-weight as well, but the 4-weight I'm glad they sent it because it's got a progressive action, it's got a nice action all the way through. And I had a quick cast with it just to see what it was like, and it's a dream to use. I'm not saying that because I've got it here. I'll show you it, and you'll see it in action, and you'll see what you think. And we'll talk about it as we do the fishing videos throughout the rest of the season, and you'll see what it's like. And when I get the 5-weight, now this rod, this is the other rod. This is the salmon. This is the Ian Gordon one. The other one's the Stevie one, which I mentioned. This is the Microspay. It's an 11-foot 3/7/8. It's a 7/8 line. It's a nice action rod. It's a lovely action. It's nice and so it's ideal for like the river dune, especially where I fish. It's just a small rod, and it's as light as a feather, and it's so easy to use. And again, like the 9-foot 4-weight, we'll be using that, and we'll be giving it a go. Now, there'll be other couple of rods I'll be using, as I said. There'll be a 10-foot 6-weight, which is going to be for both. You can fish in the boat or you can fish it from the bank, especially the other lochs, the bigger lochs. When you want to get a good cast, you need a higher back cast. Sometimes you need that, the shorter rod, doesn't it? It's too short. But we'll sort that out as the season goes on, and I'll keep you in touch with that. As I said, I will be giving away one of these I set up in the winter months, probably would be the best time to do that. So we'll see how we can go then. And obviously the reels that go with it, they do have a lovely reel. I've got, and this is the salmon one, just to show you. I know it sounds a wee bit of an advert, it's not an advert. The main reason is I want you to be able to, if I'm using something and something I like, I want you to be able to source it. So this you'll be able to source, and I'll put a link in the description, more info, so you can have a look if you wish. Now the reel is just a lovely reel. It's set up for me. Like I like to reel in with my left hand and cast obviously with my right. I can go either way. It doesn't really bother me. At the moment, this one here I've got with the spare spool, so the bag takes a spare spool. I'm just waiting for the lines coming for the salmon. I've got the one for the trout sorted. But as I say, we'll talk about these as the season goes on, and we'll find the mainly good, obviously, because I've had a cast, I feel they're really good. And if there's any faults, we'll soon find out, but I'm sure it should be fine. So anyway, that's what we're going to be our future videos on the river. And a lot of people watch these. I love the videos from outside. It's just the old pinched nerve has kind of scuppered that in a way. It's stopped me doing the things I want to do, obviously, and even time. Jeez. Anyway, to the draw. Last month's box was a gentleman from Canada. Basically, Matthew, his name was Matthew. They chose the salmon fly box with the 30 salmon flies in it. I've actually started to put a box together for next month with the doubles and singles, so I'll be putting a box together like that with them to replace that. And I mean, I'll do one with tubes later on. I've actually got the boxes there, so obviously build up the boxes so you have a good choice from if your number comes up, then you can have a choice of the boxes. Now we're going to talk about them. Now the boxes, if your number comes up, obviously you get a choice of a box. And now this box here is a saltwater box, or basically the estuary boxes. Where I would be fishing it is for the estuary, where the river runs into the estuary, where you're fishing for sea trout or whatever, bass or so on, especially in the UK. It's a good selection of flies, and as well you could fish anywhere in the world where there's saltwater flies. Now there's a good, as I say, there's clousers and so on. There's the shrimp patterns. There's even a Rogan's Gadget, which is an Irish pattern, it's a really good wee fly. It's a good dropper fly. So But anyway, in that box there, it's, as you see, it's a large box, it's a waterproof box. There's 50 flies. Now the main reason for showing the boxes is that we'll be, I mean, it shows you when somebody's, if number comes up, they can see the box, they can then make a choice with it. Now another box, we've got our Irish one, with the Irish flies, we've got our mayflies, dabblers, we've got variations, well-known patterns, the octopus patterns and so on. There's even the Cape McLaren with sunburst tail. At the bottom as well we've got some dry flies, large mayfly. These are all for the lochs of Ireland, and a really good collection, a selection there. Now there's 60 in that box. Now I've obviously got some river flies, we've got the dry flies. There's 72 here. These are Clydesdale Dry Flies, they're spider patterns. Now spider meaning a fly without a wing, so these are, whether it be a wet or a dry, it's the same thing. There's no wing on it, but there is an impression of a wing because you wind a hackle to give that impression, as well as it will give the impression of legs. So that's a really good box there, and there's 72 in that. This one here is basically it's a selection of patterns I fish for grayling and trout in my local river, in the River Aire. I've got everything here from the pheasant tail, killer bugs, we've got the tungsten beads, a few colour combinations that really work well for me, and I know you wouldn't go far wrong with these if you're into your river fishing. Not to say they wouldn't catch in the lochs, because they would. So there's 70 in that. Now I've got a couple of boxes here that they're mainly like, we've got the still water, the larger still water dries, these ones. Now in this one here, right in the back by the way, so I get it right. I know what they are, but it's just the numbers. There's 79 in this box. We've got the Midas, there's 4 patterns there, 4 different colour combinations, and wee touches that I like to add in. We've got half hogs, there's 4 patterns there. We've got the all-rounder, which is a CDC mix type one. And then we've got the shuttlecocks and different colours, sorry. So your hare's ear and quills and so on, yellow owl, which are all really flies. They've put it this way, they've won many a competition, these patterns. So again, it's a really good box of flies, and as I say, there's 79 in that. And this one here, this is the Palmers. It's again a loch style flies. For hull lochs mainly that I would tie and fish these, and there's a few kind of alternate type patterns in here as well as sort of standard. But there's like muddlers there. There's a Zulu muddler for instance. It's a Zulu, a traditional blue Zulu doesn't have it's a hackle, but I've used a blue deer hair in front. So it's variants of well-known colour combinations that basically you really can't go far wrong with, like Loch Ordies and so on. And another really good box that. There's 74 in that one. Now the latest box, the one I filled up, this here basically relates to the fishing videos. The videos I done in the river and the flies I was actually fishing in the videos. We've got the Dynamite Harry. Basically these are like the duns. We've got the yellow May and a grey dun version. I've got a couple of sedge versions. I've got the dark one and the cinnamon, the dark brown, or the chocolate drop. Now in that I fished them themselves. It was the yellow May, was one of the ones I was fishing recently. And when things go quiet I like to what we call piggyback. So I just basically tie the nylon to the bend of the hook, and then I tie on either a nymph or a wet or something. Now these setups are here. So that's the nymphs are there, the pheasant tail, the hare's ear and so on. We've also got, there was one of the videos where I cast the flies at the top dropper, middle and point. Again I've got a collection of patterns, the original ones I fished, as well as some other patterns to have a go with, like the rodent, which is a middle fly. Though you could put it wherever you wish, like it's in the cast that day, that's where I had it. I've also got some nice soft hackles here, traditional soft hackles. Now I've got the snipe and purple, I've got the water hen blower and so on. I've got the golden plover and hare's ear, which is a favourite of mine. It's an absolutely brilliant fly. So it is a great collection, and there's a couple of sizes, 12s and 14s there. So that's another really good box, and certainly one, if you're into the rivers and even the lochs, you'll do what you'd do. You'd fish well with it. Now there's 88 in that box. So there we are. It's a good wee collection of boxes there to choose from. Now I've also, this bag, it was when I was filming in the river, I spoke about the obviously some of the things I use, and I had an Orvis hip bag, and there was that many people asked me about this bag. So what I decided to do, and I hope you don't mind, I went and got one to give away because there were so many people asking about it. So it's a chance to get one of these. I've got mine down here, which is set up with an island. As you can see, you can fill it up. You can either wear it with it, there's a strap inside that goes around your shoulder, or what you can do is you can just put it around your waist. It's entirely up to yourself. So it's a great wee bag. It's not the biggest bag, as I said, but it's still ideal for just grabbing and putting on. I like using something like this when it's really warm, especially, and I can just lift it and go. I know you can do that with a waistcoat, because basically that's what it is in there. There's a waistcoat's worth in the bag, but there is times I prefer to be a wee bit lighter with just a shirt or something on. But anyway, there we are. We're going to do a draw for that as well. So what we're going to do is start off with is a choice of the fly box. You've seen the flies as we were going along, so if your number comes up, have a look at the video and go through and look at the boxes and decide what one you want. But I will be in contact with you, and we can always sort it out and we can work out what one you like. So the first draw, the first number is going to be for the fly box. Now I'm going to talk about the generator. Now what this is, some people have asked me. This is an app that I got off Apple. It's an Apple app that's through their apps, and it's basically a number generator. It's all I can do is basically press generate, and I have a number between 1 and such, and the number can't be repeated. So it's in the hands of this app, not the hands of Davie. It's just other than pressing the generate button. So we'll go to this. Is for the number for the fly box.
298.
So it's 298 for the fly box. So well done, 298. I will be in contact. Then you can actually then choose or pick the box you would like, and we'll sort it out. Okay, the next thing we'll go just open, make sure everybody's a chance, and that's why I did the box first. That then allows everybody a chance to get a chance of a box. We're going to go with the hip bag now, so we're going to generate a number for that. And the number is
72.
Number 72. And again, I will be in contact, number 72. I have no idea who it is, I have to look it up, see who it is. So basically that's the main two draws, is the fly box and the hip bag. Now I will put in the 2 or 3 wee flies into the bag. I know it's like getting a purse. You better put a pound or so in it, so it's for luck, as they would say. So I'll put 2 or 3 flies in it so you can have a cast with it. But anyway, start off, we've got there's a few flies here. In total there's 16 items, including the bag and the fly box, so there's obviously 14 here. And I've got a mixture of streamers and the flies I tied on YouTube, and obviously extras for you to have a cast with. So I'm going to start with the first fly, is a streamer. This is a streamer I filmed on YouTube, and obviously it's one I'm going to give away. So we'll do a draw for the grey ghost. Now the streamers, all but one, are patterns from Carrie Stevens' book, the book on her flies. There was one I did there in my own that's a kind of blue charm. But as I say, we'll start with the grey ghost. So we'll draw a number for that.
285.
And the number is 285 for that one. We're on to the next. Need the glasses for this one. Wow, this is the Sawyer's Pheasant Tail Nymphs. Now, I've already filmed this, but not this month. It's just that so many people want pheasant tails. It's one of my top nymph patterns. It's tied with a copper wire, so it's tied as it should be. There's size 10s and there's size 12s. It's a strong hook it's on, so it goes down, and you'll land a few fish with it before it starts to give way. But anyway, we'll draw for that. There's 6, as I say, 3 12s and size 14s. And the number
257.
257. Now, 3 videos I put on through the month. What happened was, these are feathers that I found in the garden over just a week as well. The birds at the moment are obviously molting. One was from a jackdaw, one was from a pigeon, and the other one, the tail feather there, the big one, is from the magpie. And I basically said, look, even though it's a single feather, you can still tie a fly with it. And I did some flies. So one of the flies I tied was this one here. It's just a black caddis, or a coffin caddis I call it. It's a great fly when the wee caddis is on, and it gives the impression of 2 or 3 other flies as well, and it works. So again, we'll draw a number for that. There's 4 of them, and including the one that I actually filmed. So the number is
56.
Number 56. Now I've just picked these up, and the way they fell in is so the next in the pile here is another streamer. This is the PLB number 1. The first time I'd ever tied it, it was one I got asked if I could basically tie. So it's, as you see, it's a lovely colour, great colour combination. The only difference between this and the original, it was a dyed blue feather up the top. I've used a natural blue feather from a macaw, blue and yellow macaw. So it really lifts it. It's a really nice wee fly, and ideal for sticking in a frame if you want. Or you can fish with it, it's up to yourself. So we'll draw a number for this one.
236.
And number 236 for that one. And again, here's another. There's 5 of these. This is the yellow owl, soft hackle. Now, this is the one I tied with using the magpie tail. Now, magpie tail was used a lot. You can use it as a herald. You can wind it up. It's also used in wings, obviously, but it's very good for. In the yellow owl, there's a rib of herald, and I used that in the demonstration on the YouTube fly. Lovely wee fly, great wee pattern, and you could fish both the lochs and rivers with that. So we'll do a draw for that. The number is
365.
365. Now there's 5 in there. Now Dynamite Harry. This is the caddis, the brown caddis that I tied in that style. Both, I've got 12s and 14s in there. It's a parachute fly, you'll see it on YouTube if you do a look. And then another one that sits really up. You might try it, it's brilliant. So again, we'll draw a number for them.
346.
346. Now, this is a Carrie Stevens streamer. This is an actual pattern. This is Carrie's Special. I don't even see it too well, but it's a lovely. It's got a bit of pink in it. It's a nice colour. So it's a great colour combination. And a lovely fly to tie. So we'll draw for that. And the number is
355.
355. Now, the next set of flies is this is one I have filmed it on YouTube, but it's just again it's one I get asked all the time for. These are some hare's ears. They're size 12s and 14s, and again these are tied with a copper wire. It's a good wee pad. It's one I like to use myself. So I've got 12s and 14s, 3 of each. So we'll do a number for them.
211.
Number 211. Now, another one of the feathers I found outside was a pigeon feather. And the question I got asked, I did mention that you could get a couple of flies out it, especially a dry fly, mainly because they be curled down the bottom that kind of curls away and makes it easy. But what I did was I did 4 flies using the feather, so they're there. So these are basically it's just a light ginger dun. It's a nice wee pattern. It's good in the summer. Certainly worth having, and both rivers and lochs. So there's 4 of them. And the number is
131.
131. Now, this is I would say probably one of my favourite Carrie flies. It's called the Shang Special. As you can see, it's got, I'll make sure the light's not on it, but you've got a long, go the other way, long jungle cock wing. There's peacock tail underneath. Now again, I did the feather up the front here. It should be a dyed feather, hen feather or so. But what I've used here is, this is a macaw, red macaw. It's a natural red, so it's really bright. It's just a wee touch. Something, if we've got feathers, we can use them, and I've used it in this fly for you. So we'll do a number for this one, and the number is
128.
128. I've still got 4 to go. So now this is the top dropper caddis that I used in the video. Great pattern. So there's caddis coming off. It's one of these flies I put on, and when they're coming off, you want the caddis quite close to the top or near the surface. And it's a good wee pattern. It's tied with CDC. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll see it. Now there's 6 there, and we'll draw a number for them. And the number is
4.
Number 4. So number 4. And now another of these flies on my desk, and they're fishing really well at the moment, especially in the large still waters. This is just a hare's ear, goose bite cheek buzzer. It's a suggestive type fly. It gives the impression of a few flies that's coming off. So it's certainly another good pattern. So we'll draw a number for them.
175.
175. Now one in the Yellow May in the Dynamite Harry style. This is another one of the flies that I recently filmed, and I haven't been fishing. Got asked a lot about. How many times I got asked to tie it, so I was filming it, so I was outside fishing it, catching fish, so I better show it because so many people will ask about that pattern. And if you get to a chance to use this style of fly, you'll see how well it works, and it's a good, as I say, it's a very good pattern to use if you're piggybacking a nymph, but if you're just searching the pools or searching the stream, it really works. So anyway, there's 40 days, so we'll draw a number for that.
150.
150. Now finally, the last fly. This is the streamer I was telling you about. This is one of my own. This is a blue. It's the blue charm. I was right. The blue charm. It's basically the colour combination is from the blue charm. With the wing, or the hackle being represented as blue in the wing, with a badger. Silver badger hackle on the outside, which is the grey squirrel if you were using the hair wing version, and then up near the head you've got the bronze mallard feather for the sides, and then jungle cock eyes. So it's a lovely style, it's a lovely pattern. You can't go wrong with colour combination. And this is the last fly, so finally we're at the end, and you can draw a number for this one. And the number is
133.
133. So there we are. That's it. That's that's everything away, and another month gone. Another month's draw. Anyway, as I say, what I'll be doing is I'll be contacting everyone whose number has came up, and say well done. And again, I've got to thank you all. It's not everyone, and over the months, it's helped towards everything I've been doing, and throughout the season of it, we've got a good 3 or 4 months still to go before we start to put things by, and then we start tying to fill the boxes for the following year. So hopefully I'll get a few videos done outside if everything goes to plan, and as I say, you are helping big time. So, and I'll always keep you up to date with if there's something new or something I'm going to be giving away. As I say, the cadence rod, I'll be giving one of them, maybe in the winter months, especially after we've gave it a good go and fished with it, and you can see how the action, and we'll decide what one. We could always give you a choice, but anyway, again, thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting the channel and myself, and I hope you enjoy this, and we'll keep going. And until the next video, and thank you again.